September 11th, 2023. I think everybody out there that knows me and is familiar with this, my platform, September 11th is a significant day in my life. It was a life-changing day for me 22 years ago. Can't believe it. I think it's important to remember that day, do something on that day to memorialize that day, memorialize all those lives that were lost, and how it changed the course of history, American history. We got something special planned for you today. We're loaded up in the truck early this morning. We're heading across the county to link in with our good friend over at Foundation Training Facility, Lee Garcia. We're going to do something special for 9/11 today. Maybe sit down and have a little discussion afterwards. So hey, if you got 5-10 minutes, sit back, enjoy. We're gonna get after it this morning. Let's go get after it. Hopefully Lee doesn't try to kill me. All right, guys, here we go. We're at the gym. I got Mr. Lee Garcia and his son here. We're gonna hit the Jacob's Ladder for 2,730 feet. So that represents both the towers 1 and 2 in New York City. So let's go get after it, get climbing. I got my FDNY shirt that was sent to me right after 9/11, my first deployment to Afghanistan. It's a small gesture what we're doing, but it's an important gesture. So let's go climb. We're almost through Tower 1. I'm out of shape. I can't imagine doing this in firefighter gear. The building on fire. God bless those guys.
Nine 11/2001, I was 20 years old. I was engaged, and I've been in a regiment for just over a year, 3rd Battalion, for just under a year at that point. I remember like it was almost like it was yesterday. We just got done with PT, chow, showered, changed, and I walked into the skiff where I was working. It was before 9 o'clock. We were doing some way before 9 o'clock, earlier than normal, because we were doing some planning. We were getting ready for a fixed wing bilat. So everybody was next door in the Plex. The staff and everybody was in there doing planning. And fired a computer was getting to work, and all we had was a desktop radio at the time. We didn't have a TV in the skiff because we weren't.
Right.
We didn't need it. It wasn't important for us. Somehow the intel people are supposed to keep a world events couldn't get a TV in the skiff to watch the news. So we had this desktop radio on. And Bob and Sherry was playing, and they stopped, they interrupted everything, and said, "Hey, a plane just hit tower, New York City." And we're like, "Wow, that sucks. What an unfortunate accident." But anyways, I went next door, told the S2 at the time. The staff was already settling in. It's like, "Hey, a plane just hit the tower in New York," and kind of said, "All right, just let me know what happens. It sounds like an unfortunate accident." And then the second one hit shortly later, and then Pentagon got hit, and I went in there and notified them after the second one, and after the Pentagon got hit, went there and remember telling them we're under attack, and everyone's kind of stopped and froze. I mean, we didn't know what to do at the time, and I think we're all in shock. And so I went back into the skiff and immediately got on the computer and started looking up, trying to figure out who did it, which I was thinking about this the other day, like laughing to myself, like there's no way we would have known anything. Right. It was happening instantaneously at the moment. And we really hadn't seen anything like that before. you know, the whole world saw it when it happened, as it was happening. Um, and so, you know, the week, you know, after that, a couple of days after that, it was just all a blur.
Yeah, really.
I really don't remember what happened. The next really memory I have of that whole situation was, again, I don't remember if it was a day, a week, however long it was when we got alerted back in. I just gotten home, and I was living in an apartment off exit 4, and I just got into the apartment, took my boots off, took my top off, unbuckled my belt, and I was talking to my fiance, my wife now at the time, and we were just talking, discussing the day, and talking about, you know, how crazy it was. And I was watching Band of Brothers, and the episode where they're jumping into Normandy, and my pager went off. Got alerted to go back into work, and it was kind of one of those surreal moments.
Yeah.
Because we knew it was coming. You know, ever since you get into the regiment, you learn about the alert cycles. Like, you waited for this moment. You know, this is what you wanted. This is what you were here for. And, you know, I guess the combination of 9/11 just happening, talking to my fiance, and then watching the Normandy jump on TV, you know, it was just all kind of, what the hell's happening here?
Right.
I was 20 years old.
Yeah.
So I went back to work. And as I'm driving in, I saw people still driving off, and I recognized, you know, regiment guys, battalion guys still were coming back, I mean, coming off post. I was like, okay, maybe this is a mistake. You know, maybe it was false alarm or something. And I walked into the skiff, and it was a 3, you know, the whole 2 shop. And I think the LNO says, hey, we're the only ones who know about this right now. We're the only ones coming in, and we're going to start planning the invasion. So they hadn't alerted the whole battalion. And then from that point on, we were locked in the regiment's old skiff at the time was the basement. So we were locked in the basement, 12 on, 12 off. And we slept in the barracks, and we just got into just the whole planning cycle. Started doing all the intel, looking at potential targets and places we can go for the jump. And a week, 2 later, we're flying out and getting into our staging location and base, and you know, we set up all our, you know, our talk or tents, and we just went to work. And
It's crazy. You said it. I think 9/11 happened, and all of us, regiment, soft community, greater Army, neighbor, we just went to work.
Yeah.
We all went to work, and we knew. I think we all kind of knew at that point everything we'd been training on and learned over the months or years we'd been in service. We were about to see if that was going to work or not. Yeah. And it's pretty cool to think back on it. And you said something else there. You were 20 years old when it happened. So if you're 20 years old today, you weren't even born. Yeah. So I think that brings us to the next point of why it's so important to remember and talk about and tell these stories with each other and with everybody else, is so that the next generation can hear the stories, because it's just important. What do you think?
And you're absolutely right. And, you know, we talked about this, what we're going to talk about, and I was trying to rack my brain as to why it's important. And, you know, I think it's important to understand our principles were attacked. Yeah. It wasn't New York. It wasn't D.C. You know, it was the principles and everything we believe in as Americans, as U.S. citizens, as the United States of America, however you want to describe yourself. But the fundamental principles of freedom, yeah, and unity, and the opportunity to do it exist. And I didn't realize the impact it had on the country for that short period of time afterwards until we got back from that initial invasion. Because, you know, we got straight to work. And, you know, you watch, you know, old flashbacks or videos of stuff, and then, you know, they talk about, you know, the country was together, flags were flying everywhere. Kind of missed all that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't see that. And I look at where we are now and wonder if we could ever get back to that. And hopefully it's not something like a 9/11 that has to bring us back together. Yeah. And, you know, for a while, there's no politics, there's no race, there's no anything. It was just red, white, and blue in America, as cheesy as that sounds, but that's what it was. Yeah. I mean, because at the end of the day, we're one tribe, and that tribe's the United States, and we're going to do whatever we have to do to take care of each other.
Yeah.